Scientists on Earth study every known animal imaginable, from the smallest ant to the largest whale. We, as a species, are naturally curious to know about everything around us. But would an alien species be the same? Would they, wherever they might be, have a comparable curiosity? Because if they are interested in learning about us or talking to us, then why haven't they yet? This is Unveiled, and today we're exploring the real reason why aliens haven't contacted us yet. Do you need the big questions answered? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more thought-provoking content. Is there alien life already on Earth? For a long time, asking such a question was considered the domain of conspiracy theory only. Aliens have been talked about for thousands of years, even seemingly appearing in ancient cave paintings at some points around the world. There are countless legends, too, passed down for generations, such as that of the Rohilla people in India, small alien beings piloting mysterious UFOs who allegedly abducted local villagers. But they've rarely been taken seriously. It wasn't until recently that many skeptics and scientists began to be persuaded that UFO sightings are all too often real, credible, and certainly mysterious. There are now hundreds of inexplicable UFO sightings on record, coming from seemingly reliable sources like the world's militaries. The vehicles that are spoken about apparently and blatantly ignore the laws of physics and are considered impossible by current technological standards. They're often capable of accelerating at tremendous speeds, instantly zigzagging in the sky and flying without any visible propulsion system. So there's undoubtedly something strange going on nowadays with UFOs, or as they're sometimes called, UAPs. But is this evidence of alien life? So far, an ET origin for these things is only one possible explanation. But if they truly are alien in nature, as many think, then why haven't they said or done anything further? Why are these bizarre UFO encounters still all we get from them? The UFOs caught on camera are extremely peculiar, not only in their technological capabilities, but in the way they act as well. For example, we know these machines are capable of doing things that we can barely imagine. They can outrun fighter jets, fly underwater, and they're so advanced that they sometimes even seem to enjoy toying with our best trained pilots. And yet, they're terrible at hiding. To be spotted as often as they have been in recent years, to be caught on camera numerous times, and to find themselves frequently pursued by Air Force pilots seems to suggest that they either lack stealth technology or aren't trying to hide at all. So, if they aren't, then again, why not make contact with us? After all, there are various reasons they should consider doing so: to talk to us and learn about our culture, to open trade routes for valuable resources, to ally with us, or even to enslave us as per sci-fi cliché and take over the world. Some scientists, including famously Stephen Hawking, do believe that aliens would pose a real threat to us. But on the other hand, not contacting us might be favorable to them for a number of reasons as well. First, we have to ask why alien life would bother crossing the vast distances of space to visit us. Such travel likely takes a massive amount of resources, so what do they have to gain by coming here? It's not just to say hello, or else they'd have done so already. One of the likeliest reasons could be something like a research expedition to study us. Naturalistic observation is the scientific process of watching and studying an animal in its natural habitat with no intervention. The main purpose is to remain hidden from the animal subject so it acts completely naturally. And maybe that's what's happening here. If you knew that aliens were watching your every move, for instance, your behavior would very likely change in a massive way. Observing a life form in its own setting allows for scientists, or in this case, hypothetical aliens, to witness how that being really functions and to see authentic behaviors or actions that wouldn't be reproduced in a lab setting. Put more sinisterly, if an alien's purpose were to gather as much information as possible on how we act and who we truly are as a species, then their best bet is to do so by spying on us. Announcing their presence might scare us, cause panic, or cause us to try to fight back against them, similar to how spooking an animal in the field can cause it to flee or else attack. Whether it's to study peacefully or spy not so peacefully, however, any watching alien race hidden in the shadows would also need test subjects to examine up close, and apparently, there have been a lot of these. Thousands of people worldwide claim to have not only seen a UFO, but to have been abducted by UFO pilots and experimented on. Many claim that aliens took samples of their sperm or eggs, studied their bodies, and/or placed a chip inside them. And again, this is something that regular human scientists would likely do on Earth if they discovered a new species. It's an optimal strategy, and one that requires no further direct contact between us and them. They can both observe us naturally to understand how we behave, and also examine our anatomy with a few human test subjects. Both methods translate our lives into easily readable data, no further communication necessary. However, there's another explanation for the strange behavior of UFOs and the absence of further contact by them. It could be that the opposite is true, that they are actively trying to contact us, but we just aren't able to realize it. This might sound far-fetched at first, but it's actually something that a lot of scientists think could happen, or could be happening. For one, it's thought that if any aliens did find evidence of us living on Earth, they would send machine probes to our planet first to check it out. There'd be no reason to risk biological lives journeying through space without first scouting ahead, much as we ourselves would never attempt to travel to a planet that hadn't first been thoroughly but remotely examined. So it figures that all those UFOs and UAP we see might not actually have life forms in them. No further alien reveal has ever unfolded because they're simply not capable of showing themselves in any greater detail. What if all UFOs are actually probes, then, attempting to make longer-lasting contact with us, but so far, failing? Again, there are examples to be found in the natural world as we know it. For instance, ETs might perhaps be trying to communicate via flight patterns, similar to how honeybees have been found to do so on Earth. Is it possible that those strange flying motions of UFOs are actually them trying to strike up a conversation? Another idea involves them attempting to make contact only via a part of the electromagnetic spectrum that we're unfamiliar with. Again, there are various animals we know about that can see light that we can't. So could those animals actually be more informed about an alien presence than we currently are? It sounds like a stretch, but could also be possible. It's one way that humans might not even recognize it were an alien species ever trying to talk with us. A final note of importance, though, is that these scenarios assume that UFOs are proof of alien intelligence. But significantly, there's no official confirmed evidence of that. Although there is no explanation for some of the strange behaviors exhibited by these objects, there are other possibilities, including that what we're seeing are simply Earth-made technologies that are more advanced than most of us assume we're capable of. And we still have the physical limitations of the universe to consider too, even for a hypothetically super powerful alien force. Space is vast and incomprehensibly long. If an alien civilization lived at or near the center of just our own galaxy, they'd still be 25,000 light years away from us. So even if alien life forms knew we were here, getting here would require an incredible, maybe impossible effort. Space travel is much more than simple engineering. There are immense biological and astronomical factors as well, and it could be that humans just aren't worth the risk. Do aliens exist in the universe? The numbers seem to point to yes. There are hundreds of billions of trillions of stars, and many are thought to have planets around them. But there are still potential reasons as to why we haven't yet met any other form of life. Which do you think is closest to the truth? In many ways, now seems like the best and most likely time in history for us to finally discover aliens. But the ways of the universe don't always play ball. What do you think? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from Unveiled and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.